Thank you very much, Chongzhou, for coordinating this event. The book has the participation of some other colleagues, including Professor Huang, who's the hostess of this event, and also Professor Jason Kuo, who is my belated boss, teaching at National Taiwan University, Raoul Boshuek, who is now in Netherlands, and also Hongjin Wang, who is now teaching in Tainan, Taiwan. But I'm certainly the only one responsible for its content, since I'm the person who get all the thought and put into the book. The book is about the cosmological belief that I think shared among all pre-modern thinkers who engaged Confucius and his disciples during their times. And this shared common belief, which is called Tianxia, I think can provide a useful clue to contemporary international relations. So I decided to write a book about it. Um, Tianxia is, although is a sound a very exotic notion, has been used and discussed by many authors, but I would like to give it a definition. I don't define Tianxia according to Confucianism. I define Tianxia according to all the pre-modern writings that I think share the notion of Tianxia. I define Tianxia as a system in which all are bound to be related. All include human, non-human animals, nature, supernature, gods, ghosts, anything you can think of. That everything should be related. That's the inevitable principle. Uh, but from there, how to uh, remain related become a challenge to everyone. So pre-modern thinkers come up with their different views and lessons and advice to the princes who want to survive their time to do this or that. So they compete and dispute each other. What's the best way to approach this system of all must be related, or have already been related? How do you keep them related? And Confucianism is unique in the sense that the Confucius relied on hierarchy to do that, a metaphor of heaven, earth as father and the mother, and the prince or the leader as father or parents of the children. But this hierarchy is not a top-down, one-directional hierarchy. It's a reciprocal and a mutual. So the population who were ruled by the prince could choose to run away, to escape, or not to pay loyalty to their leaders, and then basically destroy the hierarchy. So it's a reciprocal. And all hierarchy, just like all system today that suffer evolution, Confucian hierarchy also suffer evolution because of the inertia, the comfort taken for granted, um, bureaucratism, all kinds of things you can think of, natural disaster that would destroy the hierarchy for the time being. And then the task for the top leaders and his advisors also find a way to restore the order. And how to restore the order? That you have to rebuild the reputation, the credit of the leaders who were supposed to be benevolent, but lost the reputation of being benevolent. So you have to restore the reputation. The way to do that is there are various ways to do that, depend on skill, on personality, and of course on the loyalty of your advisors, and on the natural environment, which would provide enough food for your people to live on. So there are many techniques. The book mentioned a few. One of them would be emotional mobilization. Rely on emotion to show the people how much you care about them, how much anger you will feel, or your people should feel if there is a breach of the supposed relationship. So Confucianism is only one of the many ways. The other would be liberalism, to keep people reminded in the order of Tianxia. So I mentioned emotion is a very important mechanism to build teachers' reputation, either during the crisis or during the normal time. And then there's also the lesson, because hierarchies suffer evolution due to the incompetence or inertia or abuse of the leader. So you will have to rebuild them. You have cycles of normalcy and the crisis. And after a while, then the wise man come out to tell people that you just have to be patient. So I have a chapter on patience. Why patience is important for all order facing challenge to restore its normalcy. Um, uh, Patience comes with cycles. If you expect cycles to be natural, then you will try to wait for the lower stage of the cycle to pass and then return to the normal stage. And the other way to do that is to build relationship with strangers, so you can enlarge your scope. You can reinforce your support. To do that, you rely on gift giving. You rely on ritual. So you build a friendship. So I have a chapter on friendship. Finally, I have a chapter on the theoretical part. I have a chapter on exceptionalism, in which I sort of confront the literature which believe that the Chinese foreign policy is a matter of Chinese exceptionalism, to assert how China being exceptionalism. But my chapter argued that exceptionalism is anathema for subscribers of Confucianism, who avert exceptionalism, who try to demonstrate there are not exceptions, they are just normal people, so they will not be targeted as enemy by the people who may suffer starving at a time. So they will not be responsible because they're one of them. They suffer along with the people. So I have all this theoretical chapter discuss how Confucianism try to maintain order, keep people reminded, and how Confucian order can collapse, and how people try to restore it through emotional mobilization, through friendship, gift giving, and avoid exceptionalism. And the last section in the book is about how liberalism and Confucianism can, during their encountering, during their confrontation, can somehow unlearn their own inevitable principle, how their own order can be revised. Of course, at every short at every encounter in the short term, there's always confrontation, there's always reinforcement and reproduction of the old cosmological belief. But in the longer term, Confucianism is always optimistic in the sense that order will eventually restored. If you are smart enough, you know how to protect yourself during the crisis. So you will unlearn, you try to establish a relationship with strangers, trying to accommodate their need and find a place for them in your own system, and try to find a position for you to stand in their system. So both sides would unlearn their inevitable principle and to adapt and adopt each other in their own terms. So each will have some role for others to play in their own system, even though the other would not accept that, but they will allow you to do that since they already find a way to adopt you in their own system. So this is what I call a learning and enlarge the relational system. So the book is basically about how um, this belief, this cosmological belief that all are bound to be related, has been executed by a specific cultural system called Confucianism, and how the subscribers of Confucianism try to advise their leaders to conduct policy in order to win popularity and state coexistence with other people, other strangers in the world. I think I stop here. Thank you for listening.